today we will be discussing on the leaders in science, and basically all of you will be very familiar with the science leaders. So, I think we can go on a one-to-one discussion also and go ahead with the topic for the day. It's I think a week-long topic discussion on science and technology in India based on 75th anniversary of Indian independence. तो विज्ञान सर्वत्र पूज्यते, विज्ञान ಸರ್ವತ್ರ ಪೂಜ್ಯತೆ. ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಭಾರತ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಭಾರತ ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಧೂ ಘಾಟಿಯಿಂದನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪನ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮೀ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಗೆಸಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. We can go one by one. We will just discuss briefly about each of them, and I will give you a history of Indian Council of Medical Research, where we basically work on. So you can go ahead. I think this is a general topic. ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಭಾರತ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. Any scientist, any person interested in science, any scientific discoveries ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹೇಳಿ. ಜಗದೀಶ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸ್. ಎಸ್. ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು? ದೆನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು? ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪುಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್. ಆರ್ಯಭಟ್ಟ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆರ್ಯಭಟ್ಟ ಅವರು ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಅವರು 23ನೇ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ಗೋಲಾಕಾರವಾಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಧ್ರುವ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಅವರ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ರೊಟೇಟ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಅಗೋ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 1500 to 2000 BC, so before Christ itself. So this has been shown in Indian history. Idanella nodidre we were much ahead in science when we started our history of science in India. So according to Aryabhatta, now for the complete rotation of earth, andre ಭೂಮಿಯ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ವೃತ್ತವನ್ನು ಸುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲೇ 23 ಗಂಟೆ 56 ನಿಮಿಷ 4 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಗಳು ಅನುಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದರು ಆವಾಗಲೇ. ಈಗೂ ಹಾಗೇ ಇದೆ. ಈಗಿನ ಲೆಕ್ಕದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 23 ಗಂಟೆಗಳು 56 ನಿಮಿಷ 4.091. ಸೊ ವಿ ಸಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಿಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ science and technology in India. He also introduced Shunya. Most of us are now all of us want more hundreds, more thousands, more lakhs and more millions around us. So but this concept was not there then. ಆವಾಗ ಹಳೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 5 ಗೀಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 3 ಗೀಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ದಿನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಇರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಡೇಟ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಥರ ಕೆಲವರೊಬ್ಬರು ತುಂಬ ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಪ್ ಇದ್ದರು. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಗುಪ್ತ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಗುಪ್ತ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಇತ್ತು. ಅವರು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮ್ಯಾಟಿಷಿಯನ್, ಗಣಿತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದವರು. ಹಿ ಗೇವ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕ್ವಾಡ್ರಿಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ವಿತ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹಿ ಗೇವ್. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅಂದರೆ ಶೂನ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತತ್ವ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಶೂನ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಶೂನ್ಯ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ 2 ಶೂನ್ಯ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಾಕೋದು, ಮುಂದೆ ಲಕ್ಷ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಳಿಸಿದರು. ಇದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನಾಗಾರ್ಜುನ. ನಾಗಾರ್ಜುನ ಇವರು ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಅಲಾಯ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಲಾಯ್ಸ್, ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಲಾಯ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ದಿ ಅಲಾಯ್ಸ್, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಶೋಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇದು ಶುದ್ಧೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ, ಸಬ್ಲಿಮೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ he had technologies, and in his book he has mentioned it. Similarly, Maharshi Kannada had given us atomic theory. So he described the materials in terms of atoms, and all the substances around us were divided based on the atoms itself. Adhe tara, this is a repeat slide, so it is okay. It is going back. Bhaskara gave us the concept of gravity. Iವರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದರು ಅಂದರೆ, we have lot of attraction around the earth. So gravity attracts all of us towards the earth, and he spoke regarding this very much before our Isaac Newton had declared it. So our history is much ahead of the rest of the science and technology history that we get. He also told about geospatial attraction. So ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷದ ಬಾಡೀಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರೋ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು. Bodhayana. So he was one of the mathematicians who worked on squares and rectangles. So how to convert squares and rectangles, and then how to get this Pythagoras theorem. So his old Pythagoras theorem was described like this, like he had broken the square and rectangle and its sides, and then with the diagonals on the sides he made the hypotenuse. So ಆ ಥರ a square plus b square is equal to c square. So he gave the concept of our Pythagoras theorem. ಅದೇ ಥರ ವಹರ್ಮಿಹಿರಿಯ. So he has worked on skies. ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಲೆಷಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಡೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ನ್ಯಾವಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ he did our mapping of the sky that time itself. So that has remained the same even now, and now we calculate all of these constellations and directions based on this Vaharmihira. So Bhaskara, basically he had Gurutakshara, that is what, regarding gravity and celestial body reactions. So with this, I think we also mention a little about Sushruta. He was one of the very early surgeons. ಅವರು ಆವಾಗಲೇ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು 120ರಷ್ಟು ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅನೆಸ್ಥೀಷಿಯಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಟುಡೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸುಶ್ರುತ ಬುಕ್ಸ್. Similarly, Charaka was one of them who gave a lot of Ayurveda and its techniques, and he described lot of medical details in that. So I think we now move on to the next session in this, Indian scientists with accolades in science and technology. ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಂಥ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So who is this person? I think you all know now. Yeah. So he is U.R. Rao. Where does he work? Where did he work? Yeah. ISRO works for? Yeah, it works on Space and Research Organization in India, and we have lot of leading scientists ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೂ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ we have done work as far as international agencies like US has done, Russia has done. These were the leading countries initially, but now our work in ISRO, like the work of space mission agli, planning for manned air space mission agli, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಬಹಳ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ನೋ ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ, GSLV, PSLV ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇಸ್ರೋ. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಸತ್ಯೇಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞರು, ಗಣಿತಜ್ಞರು. ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಹಿ ಗೇವ್ ಅಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. So he received accolades in the form of Padma Bhushana, and Rabindranath Tagore ಕೃತಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದೇ ಕೃತಿ ಇರೋದು ರವೀಂದ್ರನಾಥ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗೋರ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು, ಅದು ಇವ್ರ ಮೇಲೇ ಬೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಮೇಘನಾದ ಸಹ. ಸೊ ಖಗೋಳ ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ 1893 ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 6 ಇವರು ಜನ್ಮರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಇವರ ಸಾಧನೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಸಾಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಭಾರತೀಯ ನದಿ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರು. 1943 ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕಟಾ ಸಹ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೇಮಕಾಯಿಸಲಾಯಿತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಹೋಮಿ ಭಾಭಾ, ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಇವರು ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಪರಮಾಣು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ಈಗಲೂ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಪವರ್, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವೆಪನ್ಸ್, ಯುರೇನಿಯಂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಿ ಫೇಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಮ್ಯುನಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ವಿ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಹೋಮಿ ಭಾಭಾ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ who brought in these requirements for the country. And based on his work, they started an institute in collaboration with Tata Institute of Fundamental Research 1945. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದೇ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ದೇ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ಇಂಟು ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಪವರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ರಾಮಾನುಜನ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಗಣಿತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದವರು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಗೇವ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಯರೀಸ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ಗಣಿತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಂಖ್ಯಾ ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ number theory, continued fractions, all of these he had given very early. He was one of the Indians who got the laurels from the International Society of Science, and he was awarded fellows from Royal Society of Cambridge, also from Royal Society. He was also a JRF. Similarly, we have C.V. Raman. Raman effect all of us are familiar with, and he was the one who received Bharat Ratna. Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, he was also one of them who received laurels internationally, and ಅವ್ರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೊಬೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳು. Rajreddy, he gave us artificial intelligence and utilization for all of us, and basically which we are using these days as Alexa, Siri and all in home to home uses. This person was responsible for it. Hargobind Khurana, basically a person who worked on nucleic acids, its composition, amino acids in the nuclei. All of it was discovered by Hargobind Khurana, basically an Indian, and he was a US citizen then. So he has received a Nobel Prize for it. Jagdish Chandra Bose, I think one of the persons spoke regarding this. Basically, he gave us the plant growth and pictography regarding this, and he also worked on radio and microwave and its effects. We had a few women scientists in India. So Anandbai Joshi, the first woman physician in India. We have Janaki Ammal, who worked on cell physiology, and she was the one to get the Padma Shri. Can you tell in the picture who Anandbai Joshi is? This lady. Then we have Janaki Ammal. She worked on cell physiology. Then Kamla Shoini, cytosine C. I think they have put up the pictures on outside with all the placards displayed on their work. I think they have kept some. I saw these photographs there outside. So we have Asima Chatterjee, who worked on anti-cancer, anti-malarial drugs. This lady, and Rajeshwari Chatterjee, lady from Karnataka, and basically Rajeshwari Chatterjee worked on microwave engineering, and she was the first lady to get the Michigan University scholarship. All of us are, I think this is one of the ladies who worked in the space medicine and space engineering, and she was from Haryana and Indian origin, US citizen, whom we lost in one of the orbital missions. Dr. Induja, she worked on various aspects of artificial insemination and first test tube baby in India. And we have Aditi Pant. She went to Antarctica as a part of a visit and trek and study of Antarctica and cold region study. We also have Shakuntala Devi, mathematician and Guinness record holder, a human computer as she is commonly named. So we know that lot of people were there in NASA from Indian origin. A few of them include Kamlesh Lala. Then we have Sunita Williams. Can anybody tell regarding her record? Sunita Williams, what is her record? Yeah, the longest duration, how much? Yeah, so basically 29 hours, 17 minutes and 4 seconds. So she is the one who did lot of enduration or long duration studies in space. So they are studying on various aspects of sustainability and living properties for India, for all the citizens in space, exploring newer avenues for living in space, and these are some of the cardio exercises and cardiorespiratory exercises, monitoring ella ಮಾಡಿ they check up there. So we have other Indians like Anita Sen Gupta, Ashwin Vasavada, all of working with NASA. But how about Indian ISRO scientists and women? We had Lalitambika. She is now one of those in charge for Gangayaan mission, the human space flight which is being planned. With the failure of Chandrayaan 2, it is a bit delayed, but she is one of the individuals who is going to be used basically as a mission person for leading the space flight in India. And M. Vanita, Ritu Karidhal, they were in charge for the Chandrayaan 2 mission, and Anuradha, Valarmiti, all of these are some of the leading scientists in ISRO. The scientists who won Nobel Prize from India, we have C.V. Raman, Hargobind Khurana, Subramanya Chandrasekhar and Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. So how many of us know about Dr. Kalam and his laurels? All of us know it is a long list, and a lot of work which was treasured by India. So basically we have a Ramanuja Award, Veer Savarkar Award, Indira Gandhi Award for National Integration, Bharat Ratna and Honorary Fellow, also for National Academy of Medical Sciences. He was awarded by National Space Society, Von Braun Award, basically for work in space research. Apart from science, he was a very good human being and one of the teachers for lot of students and his subordinates, and who pulled in lot of good rage around him. So these are some of his beautiful sayings, that your best teacher is your last mistake and you learn from your mistake to go ahead in your life. So man needs difficulties because you enjoy the success that they need to. Otherwise, if the difficulties are not there, then you would not enjoy the success that you have tasted. So these are some of the old pictures from the history of Indian space mission. Here we see that in Space Center VRSC, the wings of the aircrafts are being taken. What is this one? Manned air space mission from India, and Rakesh Roshan from along with the team from Russia. This is a space station in India, and Aryabhatta, we have the same space station which was old. Now you see the newer one in 2019. Also we see that we have active involvement from our Prime Minister for all of these accolades and targets that we keep for our space missions. Apart from this, under National Development and Science and Technology, we see that there are a lot of institutes under National Science and Technology. Apart from the institute that we are presently here at KSTA, we also have Vigyan Prasar, Ministry of Culture, and various ministries involved, and we have various higher learning institutes in the form of Indian Institute of Science, National Institute of Science, AIMS all over India, National Academy of Science, and we have Center for Studies in Social Science, Indian Diamond Institute, and various other structures. So these are basically the pictures that I have derived for the centers of excellence in India. We have National Science and Technology centers. We have marked the main centers for higher learning. It can be in the form of IISCR, IRSC, or we can have all our COVID related studies are also going on in some of these centers apart from the IITs around India. So we see that we have an Indian Institute of Science very much in Bangalore, and the accolades that it has won, it includes Bharat Ratna, Padma Awards, we have the various fellowships. All of these are being given, and it is the institute which has received maximum of these, and apart from this, the various Royal College and other institutes of academy give the scholarships for the students. We see that there is a lot of investment for the defense sector, and so we see that under ISRO we have communication satellites, earth observation satellites, we have scientific spacecrafts, we have experimental satellites, navigation satellites, all of these built as major R&D programs under ISRO. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ್ 2, ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ್ 1, we had a failure with the orbiter, and we are trying for Chandrayaan 3. We are also planning for the Mars mission. DRDO is one of the organizations wherein we have about 52 laboratories all over India. We have various fields like aeronautics, armaments, electronics, we have naval systems, missiles. All of these have different scientists in recruitment levels and work on the defense avionics and its related work. So basically in science and technology, we have that India has been placed in third in the publications all over the world now. It has picked up its speed. We have about top 50 global economies. We are now counted in top 50 global economies, and we are a leading country with the number of PhDs in science of education system, all a part of SNT and its related work in national development. We also have India elected as an executive member for science and technology internationally, and it works on R&D, production and supply in artificial intelligence. We have innovation and technology given a priority in India, and we aim for information, evaluation and policy research. Apart from this, modeling, I think it was just discussed in the previous session. We are working on modeling of COVID, and India is one of the leading countries which is giving suggestions for WHO and its related events, related agencies for control of COVID in the country. We are also emerging as supercomputer power and indigenous nationalized supercomputer for the country has been developed. As a part of Atmanirbhar Bharata, we have 5 main pillars with health, machinery, infrastructure, agriculture, manufacturing and electronics, and it works on especially on the supply and demand after the COVID effect. So basically we see that science advice has called in for lot of improvement and lot of working towards independent India. So we did discuss about lots of excellent institutes of excellence in India, and one such institute under this is Indian Council of Medical Research. We have about 24 branches all over India, and one of them is mainly here in Bangalore, National Center for Disease Informatics and Research. There basically we are working with a team of scientists who are working on cancer data mainly, and we have the scientific staff who are working in technical side, medical side, statistics side. We assimilate the data for all over India and give the current results for cancer all over the country. So basically, as a part of ICMR work, we are working on various diseases like controlling of filariasis, controlling of leprosy, tuberculosis control and cancer control program in the country. These are various milestones that we have discovered, like a few of the virons that we have discovered in India. Apart from the COVID virus, which was identified much earlier, the variants of virus have been identified by the division of NIV from Pune. We also have the other viruses which we have recognized as a part of disease pathology and its pathogenesis. So apart from this, antimicrobial resistance, most of us use antibiotic, but we tend to forget that lot of resistance has developed in the persons using antibiotics. So under that we work on a diagnostic workup. We also work on the different pathogens that are causing the diseases. So we also have worked on synthetic male contraceptives, Japanese encephalitis vaccines, skin culture for burns patients. We have a few biomarkers here working on for osteoporosis, and these are the indigenously developed programs for iron deficiency for identification of serum ferritin in patients. We also have diagnosis of leptospira and zoonosis, and we have ELISA testing kit which is used for lung flu. We also have malarial diagnosis which has given very much accurate results. Apart from this, we work on the outbreaks for malaria, for Nipah virus, for filariasis, for canine virus, for dengue, for COVID. So basically, setting up of these nationwide laboratories and national calamities, we work up towards the development of various regional centers, the state level centers and the medical college centers, wherein we interact with the patients for various diagnostic and specific therapeutic guidelines also. So this is one of those where the ICMR has received the Cochrane Recognition Prize for TB treatment and its guidelines, which has formed the pathway for the treatment all over the world under the R&D. and we also map the quality and efficacy of various drugs and diseases surveillance programs. So, under surveillance we use the IT technicians, we use the statistical team. Basically, we assimilate our data together to generate the data for India. So, basically these are various reports which are available in NCDIR.India, and it is accessible to the public and they can utilize for various research purposes if they need it. So, here you see we have the division of ICMR bioethics unit, where our Dr. Oli Mathur is in charge for ICMR bioethics unit all over India. We have e-mortality NNMS studies under it. Apart from the cancer registry which has been there since 1982, we also have the new registries of heart failure and stroke and other registries which are now coming up. So, ICMR and COVID has been longly correlated, and we have seen that we have developed indigenous technologies in terms of maybe diagnostics like RT-PCR or maybe even a rapid antigen test, their modulation, their quality assurance, all of these are indigenously designed, and we are involved with the rapid response team, the info for labs where the SOP guidelines are formed from us, and the testing strategies, the testing documents relevant to each methodology that we follow has been shared with all the centers. And similarly, we have the novel came applicants where we have other approaches to the study that we utilize. So, these are the different publications which are ongoing from the 2 years of epidemic that we are facing, and ICMR also gives the guidelines for the current management of the disease of COVID. So, with that we see that we have gone from vaccination from door to door as a part of the vaccination program initiated by our Prime Minister, and we see that almost 76 lakhs, 96 lakhs, 65 lakhs and total coverage of about 1.35 crores has already been done as a part of national program, and this is an international record wherein we have the highest vaccination all over the world. So, we see that our Prime Minister has given a message to all the Padma Shri Award winners under SNT and medicine that we have hidden faces around us who have worked very hard in difficult times and have given us very good results which will be used for the society. With this I conclude my session, and I hope to interact further for any more questions if you all have. Thank you so much.